Did you know, folks? What if I told you that the President of the United States never had enough votes to become President of the United States? And I'm not talking about the national vote, folks. I'm not talking about when you and I are voting. I'm talking about just to get on the ballot in 2008. It almost sounds like a conspiracy, doesn't it? It sounds like a conspiracy theory. You know, Craig, you're crazy. What are you talking about? What do you mean that you sound like one of those crazy people with the foil hats? Well, I hate to break this to you, but here's the fact. Have you looked at the IRS lately? A lot of those conspiracy theorists are being proven right. I'm going to make my point. What if I told you that it isn't just me saying that it's a court of law that says it? And then I'd ask you, how come you don't know about it, folks? How come you don't know? How come you don't know that this has happened? Fox News reported 2 weeks ago, probably, maybe 3 weeks ago, a jury in South Bend, Indiana, has found that fraud put President Obama and Hillary Clinton on the presidential primary ballot in Indiana in 2008, in the 2008 election. Did you hear that? Fraud. 2 Democratic political operatives were convicted Thursday night in the illegal scheme. After only 3 hours of deliberations, they were found guilty on all counts. Now, that's about 3 weeks ago. Former longtime St. Joseph County Democratic Party Chairman Butch Morgan Jr. was found guilty of felony conspiracy. Found guilty of felony conspiracy and to commit petition fraud and forgery. In former County Board of Elections worker Dustin Blythe was found guilty of felony forgery counts in falsely making a petition after being accused of faking petitions that enabled Obama, check this out, faking petitions that enabled Obama, then an Illinois senator, to get on the presidential primary ballot for his first run for the White House. Morgan was accused of being the mastermind behind the plot. Okay, you getting that right now? The mastermind behind the plot. According to testimony from 2 former Board of Election officials who pled guilty, Morgan ordered Democratic officials and workers to fake the names and signatures that Obama and Clinton needed to qualify for the presidential race. Blythe, then a Board of Elections employee and Democratic Party volunteer, was accused of forging multiple pages of the Obama petitions. Quote, "I think this helped uphold the integrity of the electoral system," said the prosecutor Stan Levko. Told the reporters that. What reporters? I mean, where are they? I mean, did you see it on MSNBC or CNN? Fox had it on maybe once, maybe twice. It's kind of a big deal, don't you think? And again, if you want to follow this, just go to Facebook. Go to the Craig Bouchon Show. Well, make it easier. Just go to my website. Go to craigbouchonshow.com. And you will find it under Politics and Opinion. Just click on More on the Politics and Opinion section, and you'll find this ostrich with its head buried in the sand. It says voter fraud does not exist. Well, I guess it does. Pretty big deal, folks. Big deal. So if everyone's trying to find this smoking gun of how people worried about the birther issue and was he born in Hawaii? Was Obama not born in Hawaii? I don't know. I mean, everybody's been going after him on the hard right. I mean, and in the end, Sheriff Arpaio, look what he's doing. Heck, he's being sued by the government, it seems like every week. You have Donald Trump, and he ran half his campaign unsuccessfully on that premise. But now we have a conviction, folks. The verdict is in. Quote, "Their verdict of guilt is not a verdict against Democrats," they say, "but for honest and fair elections," is what the prosecutor said. The scheme was hatched in January of 2008, according to affidavits from investigators who cite former Board of Registration worker Lucas Burkett, who told them he was in on the plan at first, but then became uneasy and quiet. No, he quit, excuse me. which is pretty quiet because he left. He wasted 3 years before telling authorities about it. But if revelations about any forgeries were raised during the election, the petitions could have challenged during the contest. A candidate who did not qualify with enough legitimate signatures at the time could have been bounced from the ballot. Okay, so here we are. He felt uneasy. He felt uneasy. It sounds to me like he was probably threatened. It took him 3 years to have a revelation, folks. 3 years to figure out that this is something that he needed to talk to you about. 3 years it took. Well, that's a long time after the election. Says the case raises questions about whether in 2008, then candidate Obama actually submitted enough legitimate signatures to have legally qualified for the primary ballot. Quote, I think that they had been challenged successfully, he probably would not have been on the ballot. I had to read that again. If they would have been challenged, he probably would not have been on the ballot. Now, why is that? Well, under state law, presidential candidates need to qualify for a primary ballots with 500 signatures from each of the state's 9 congressional districts. Indiana election officials say that in St. Joseph County, which is the 2nd congressional district, the Obama campaign qualified with 534 signatures. Clinton's camp had 704. Okay? So we got 534 for Obama, 704. That's all of them that were counted. This is not saying this counts all of them, even the fraudulent ones. You got to have at least 500. Prosecutors say that in President Obama's case, 9 of the petition pages were apparently forged. Each petition contains up to 10 names, making a possible total of 90 names, which, if faked, now we know they were, could have brought the Obama total below the legal limit required to qualify. Prosecutors say 13 of Clinton petitions were apparently forged, meaning up to 130 possible fake signatures. Even if 130 signatures had been challenged, it would have still left Mrs. Clinton with enough signatures to meet the 500-person threshold. Now think about this, folks. Now look at the words that they're saying here. It's not if, could have. Court said are guilty. Those were fraudulent. Think about the percentage there. If you have 500, okay, if you have 534 Obama signatures, all right, and you have 10 names on each one of them, and 9 of the petition pages were forged. That's 90 of the 534. That's almost right at 20% of every name on the list are fraud. This isn't me. I'm not just out there spewing it. I'm telling you the facts. I'm not telling you to look for black helicopters. I'm not telling you to wait for the black SUV with the dark tinted windows to be following you home. I'm telling you this is the facts. Go to CraigBouchonShow.com. Go under Politics and Opinion. Find the guilty officials found guilty in Obama-Clinton ballot. You can't miss it. It's the ostrich with his head buried in the sand. Folks, this is amazing. I'm not even done telling you all the facts yet. Why don't you know this? This is why I'm posting this. This is why it's on Facebook. This is why I'm sharing this with you. This is why I'm reaching out to you, all of you people that believe in the Constitution of this country and the Bill of Rights and the power and the sanctity of voting. This is the line in the sand that cannot be crossed. Again, Lefkoe, the prosecutor, said a total of 100 to 200 signatures have been forged on Obama's and Clinton's petitions total. An Indiana State Police investigator said in court papers that the agency examined the suspect Obama petitions and selected names at random from each of the petition pages and contacted those people directly. We found at least one person, and often multiple people, from each page, folks, who confirmed that they had not signed the petitions or given consent for their name and or signatures to appear. Numerous voters told Fox News that they never signed the petitions. Quote, "That's not my signature," Charity Rory, a mother of four, told us when showed her Obama petition with her name and her signature. She was stunned, saying that it absolutely was a fake. Charity also told Fox News that her husband's entry was also a forgery and that they have never been contacted by investigators or authorities looking into the scandal. Interesting. It's scary. It's shocking. It definitely is illegal, she told Fox News. Robert Hunter Jr. told Fox News that his name was fake too. Quote, "I did not sign for Barack Obama," he told them. As he examined the Obama petition in his hands, Hunter pointed out that, quote, "I always put Jr. after my name. Every time. 100% of the time. There's no Jr. there." Now check this out, folks. I mean, this is the biggest proof that you need to have. So any of you out there saying, "Well, it's because you're just a pro, you're a conservative, and you're a pro, you're pro-Republican." No, I'm not. Kind of put me under the Rand Paul and Ted Cruz world. Put me in that tent, okay? Even a former Democratic governor of Indiana, Joe Kernan, told Fox News that his name was forged. Let me say that again to you. The former Democratic governor of Indiana, Joe Kernan, told Fox News that his name was forged. Quote, "This is a bittersweet moment for free and fair elections," observed Ryan Nees, the Indiana-born Yale University senior who first exposed the scheme in an independent political newsletter. Howie Politics Indiana and South Bend Tribune. So a local citizen journalism, folks. Citizen journalism, just like it is here on the Craig Bouchon Show in Be First in Media. You got to get in and you got to dig, and then you got to ask the questions. Well, where's everybody who's asking the questions? How come no one's bringing this up? Where is it? Nees says the multiple guilty verdicts were bitter because of a 5-person conspiracy succeeded in illegally placing 2 presidential candidates on the ballot, but sweet because they were exposed, tried for their crimes, and convicted. Nees previously told Fox News that the fraud was clearly evident because page after page of signatures are all in the same handwriting, and that nobody raised any red flags because election workers in charge of verifying their validity were the same people faking the signatures. Kind of reminds me of Dodd-Frank, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll make the rule. Let's redo the rules. We'll fix this problem that we made. That's like the IRS, you know. Why would the president of the United States or his administration, why would they be so foolish to put their fingerprints all over this and force these investigations? Well, for the same reason, folks, that the fools who rely on you and I to be dumbed down wrote all the names in the same handwriting. But here's the question I have to ask, ladies and gentlemen. How is it that most of you are hearing this for the first time? How is it, folks, that this isn't front page news? How is it that the bitter end of this bittersweet victory, is that the 5 people who are involved in this conspiracy, not a theory, a conspiracy, succeeded in illegally placing 2 presidential candidates on the ballot? And remember the criteria, the big issue here, is that even after the fraudulent signatures, Obama did not have enough votes, and Clinton did. Hillary Clinton could have still been on the ballot, and Obama wouldn't have made it. He should have never been on the ballot. He should have never been elected president. And now you're seeing, as Paul Harvey would say, folks, the rest of the story.